Greetings, everyone. I'm Dr. Anth. Are women legal persons to the same degree that men are, that corporations are, and that even a fertilized cell is? Let's find out. First, some history. It is only in the last 5 decades or so in the United States that women began to have similar legal rights to those that men have held. There are tens of millions of women, boomers and older, in the United States who were adults when women were finally granted legal person status. White men have had full rights since the beginning of the country. For black men, their rights began after the Civil War, although these rights were limited in many cases due to racist attitudes and laws. Women obtained the vote in 1920. However, women were still not considered legal persons. Instead, women were under the care or jurisdiction of their father or husband. This meant that many jobs were prohibited to women, as was access to many institutions of higher education. Nor were women considered able to be a juror in court cases. Women who worked as teachers were fired when they became visibly pregnant. Some school districts refused to even hire married women. Full legal rights for women that did not really begin until the 1970s. In the United States, it was not until the passage of the Equal Employment Act of 1972 that discrimination against female teachers began to lessen. Also in 1972, Title IX of the Education Amendments was passed, which prohibited discrimination on the basis of sex in any educational situation which was supported by federal funds. Title IX, along with the Public Health Services Act of 1971, forced medical schools to open their doors to women. Prior to these acts, women were either barred from a particular medical school or could only obtain admission as part of a limited quota of perhaps 5 women per cohort. Now women were to be admitted at the same rate as men. Prior to 1974, women could not have a credit card account in their own name. This changed with the Equal Credit Opportunity Act. After passage of the act, women were also able to take out a home mortgage. However, it wasn't until 1988 that a woman could take out a business loan without a male cosigner. In 1973, women were granted the right to bodily autonomy by being guaranteed the right to obtain an abortion. In 1975, the Supreme Court declared that women were eligible to serve on juries. In 1972, both houses of the U.S. Congress passed the Equal Rights Amendment and then sent it to the states to be ratified. 38 states were needed to ratify it. The ERA states, "Equality of rights under the law shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on account of sex." States were passing the ERA with great abandon, but then progress ground to a halt. It was only in January 2020 that Virginia became the 38th state to pass the ERA. Although the House of Representatives and dozens of constitutional lawyers say that the amendment is now law, it has yet to be officially certified. So, in 2022, women in the United States still do not have equal rights guaranteed by the Constitution. Over the past 50 years, women have been granted rights that allow them to be considered a legal person. However, in part due to the fact that the Equal Rights Amendment has not become an official part of the U.S. Constitution, the right to bodily autonomy has been lost. But it's worse than that. Many states are passing laws that will give a fertilized egg, a zygote, rights to personhood. If a zygote has personhood, that means the individual in which the zygote resides loses personhood rights and becomes merely an incubator for the zygote embryo. It has taken centuries for women living in the United States to achieve the rights and legal personhood granted unquestioningly to men. The refusal to certify the Equal Rights Amendment and the loss of bodily autonomy with the overturning of Roe v. Wade are just the first steps in rolling back the past 50 years of progress for women. As of June 24th, 2022, women in the United States are no longer full legal persons. I repeat, women are no longer full legal persons under the laws of the United States.